Hey guys, it's MadameWario. Welcome to my Ask MadameWario stream. This is a live Q&A presented to you all by the wonderful folks who donated to make this stream incentive possible. Thank you for all your donations and thank you for your support. Thank you also for your questions. Thank you so much to everybody who submitted a question. I have a list right now of 35 questions. I'm going to try my best to answer them all. My only restriction is basically if there's a question that I don't feel like answering or that makes me uncomfortable or something like that, I'm obviously not going to answer that. So if for whatever reason that happens and you've asked a question that like I just find inappropriate, those are the only questions I'm really not going to answer. I'm going to do my best to answer everybody. If time gets to be like, if time slips away and it's like, okay, we need to end, then I'll just have to do the best I can. Listen to this Pokemon song, let's go. And aside from that, really the only guideline I gave was like try to avoid yes or no questions because it's not really the most fulfilling for you as a viewer to have your question read and then the answer is just no, next. You know, it's not really as great as you're probably, that's not the best answer. Let's just put it that way. That's not the greatest answer for anybody. So everything that I have seen so far, I haven't seen all of these questions. I saw about the first 12 or 15 that were submitted, and they were all super fun. A couple of them were really similar, so I'm going to combine some questions into one, or if I start to read one and it's like, I already answered this, then we'll just, you know, move on to the next one. But really, it's going to be super casual, really conversation style more than anything else. But thank you to everybody who submitted a question using my form earlier in the week, over the last couple days. I appreciate it. At this point, any questions that are added are not guaranteed to be answered because I don't know how long it will take to get through all these. So I guess with that, I'll go ahead and say hello to everybody. Thank you for the follow, by the way. We have StarDev94, Phoenix Warriors, Dill Pickle Streams, Yo Yo Yoshi95, Joyful Ringer, Armand2017, Casanova64, Narusonic51, Twitchnick022. We also have Scottman895, and who else do we have? I'm scrolling. Ms. Mario Fan 7, Rainbow Road 1996, Arcadia Free. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. To any of you who submitted questions, thank you so much again. And thanks for being here on a Tuesday night. This was just kind of a pop-up stream. And so there was no like formal start time. I knew I wanted to start around 6 o'clock, which we're really not too far off. It's almost 6:30, but I just wanted to do this a little bit earlier than usual, so that way if it took a while, it wouldn't be the end of the world. Turn of the Drew, welcome! Ready for those Q's and A's? Me too. You guys know, and if you don't, I love to talk. So I love to answer questions and things like that. When I worked in Disney World, I was one of those people that like, all the other cast members were like, I hate when people ask me questions. And I was like the opposite. I would go stand on the corner of the sidewalk and just wait for people to walk up to me and ask questions because I love talking and it was always fun to answer stuff. So, way to go get Dolly request. Here she is, our wonderful, beautiful Dolly the Vaquita. Remember, Dolly symbolizes the importance of animals, taking care of animals, and animal rights. So every time Dolly comes on stream, she's like, hey girl, remember your animal friends. So anyway, and guess what? I don't have to like balance the controller. I probably won't hold her here the whole time, but I can at least have her here for the moment and not be like, oh, I can't do this. Pixel Plume, welcome. Does Julie have any questions? She's just like, no. She's been ready for this stream for the past couple hours because I've actually, for about the past hour and a half, 2 hours, I've been working on the clip show. So in her mind, I've been like, she's like, oh, mommy's doing work. I better get in my spot. Last night, she wasn't around during my stream because I had this bag that I've been trying to embellish for like 3 days. I had little charms I wanted to add to it, but that bag became the most exciting thing for my cats, and they would not get off of it. It was like every time I got it out, they would lay on it. Couldn't do anything. Happy Mardi Gras, by the way. It's Big Fat Tuesday. Let's go. And Quincy Crossing, welcome. Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you back. I think, honestly, what we'll do is we'll probably just dive right in. I'm gonna go put Dolly back here. I was gonna try and be fancy. And have, like, the questions pop up on stream, during the night, but it's just gonna be a lot of work that's not really necessary, so I'm just gonna read them. Questions were submitted anonymously unless you signed your name, so, I didn't want there to be any pressure, especially for anybody that was asking something that just maybe they didn't want their name tied to, because I know, like I said, like, if you want to ask questions about content creation, go for it. I know that sometimes there's a lot of pressure with that already, and you're, like, self-conscious about it, so that's why I wanted it to be in this format. So we're gonna go ahead and get started, but I already interviewed the one and only MadameWario Mega Freak. Mega Freak, welcome to the stream. If you missed my interview, you guys, it's on the SGM YouTube channel. It's really, really cool. Also, it was so much fun. I did the interviews for the last Stacked Game Marathon because, again, I'm super nosy and just love to know about other people's lives. So I was like, oh, I want to do these interviews, and it turned out really fun. Okay, here we go. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm just gonna go in the order that they're appearing. I don't know if this is in the order they were submitted. I have no idea. So we're just gonna start at the top. And this question comes from the one and only TwitchNick022. I know, calling somebody out immediately. But you did sign your name, so TwitchNick022, thank you for your question. They ask, what do you think is the best piece of advice you can give up-and-coming content creators and streamers? This could be all over the place, and, like, I know everybody's heard that, be yourself. Okay, that's great, we get it. But, like, sometimes you're nervous and you don't quite know how to be yourself or who you are as far as a content creator in the beginning. So my best piece of advice, honestly, because be yourself is like, yes, great, we all know this, is don't sweat the small stuff. You guys have come to my streams, probably every single stream I've ever had almost, and there's always some really stupid technical difficulty that wasn't happening 2 seconds before I went live, that wasn't an issue, that I didn't have to worry about, and there it is. And it's like, you know, you kind of turn on, I guess that's more of a streaming thing. I'll answer this for both streaming and if you're going to make videos, because these are two different things. So just, you know, you don't want to be a pessimist and go into it thinking like, oh, something's going to go wrong. That's not what I'm saying. I am saying quite literally, don't sweat it. Like, just laugh it off, brush it off. It's not a big deal. Like, if your internet goes down, it'll be okay. It'll come back. Don't worry. If your audio goes out, if you go on the camera and your mic was muted and you just said the 4 greatest sentences you've ever put together, constructed in your life, it'll be okay. Just go, drop it, let it go, start over. Like, just, you're fine. Or just keep going. Not start over, but keep going. It always happens. It happens to every single streamer. Even the most professional streamer out there will have some kind of technical hiccup on their stream setup. Something that is unexplainable. You know, that is the number one thing. And when you're first starting out, you're very, like, self-aware of, like, oh no, like, everybody's wanting this I'm making myself look dumb, or I'm not perfect enough. It's like, no one is expected to be perfect their first stream, their first video, like, so don't put those expectations on yourself either, and just let the small stuff go. That is like my number one piece of advice, and that's the advice I have to give myself every single time I go live, because some cord will have come loose, or my audio won't be working, or I'll have to reset my capture card. Like, that's the number one thing I would say. If you're gonna do streaming, you cannot sweat the small stuff, or it will destroy you, quite literally, and it'll just make you have like a bad attitude, a bad time. And if you're not having a good time, your audience probably isn't either, or is feeling like uncomfortable for you. So that's like my number one piece of advice for if you're gonna stream. If you're gonna make videos, kind of the same thing, except this is a little bit different because you can do multiple takes. If you record a video and you're talking and then you're like, God, I sound stupid, forget it, I'm starting over. I would say give yourself a limit before you're like, I need to stop and come back to this later. Because I have made that mistake. I made that mistake as a Let's Player where I have kind of like two different stories with this. My first video I ever made, every 5 minutes as I was making it, I thought, this is the dumbest thing ever. I should stop. Like, I need to stop. I need to just forget it. Like, this is stupid. This isn't the way I want. I'm not sounding as good as I thought I would. I'm not as, like, I don't know what to say as much as I thought I would. And, like, I just had to keep telling myself, just keep going. Just finish it. Just finish it and post it. It's not a big deal. Just finish it. And I did, and I'm very glad that I did, because I don't think you'll ever get to that point where you're just like, wow, I was amazing. Like, I don't think you'll ever get to that point the first go. And then I've also had the opposite happen where I've been like, oh, I need to start over. I need to start over. And I've done like 7 takes, and then I'm so flustered and so irritated by that point, I'm not making the best content. I'm not even feeling good about the content I'm making. So I would give yourself a limit, like 3 tries, and then we need to put it away and come back to it a few hours later or the next day or something. Those are that's my biggest advice if you're gonna start content creating. So if you're live, don't sweat the small stuff. If you're recording, don't get caught up in like so many takes. Like, don't start over so many times that you've literally ruined things for yourself, because it's all, at the end of the day, you're alone doing this. No one else is in the room. No one else is doing this for you. No one else is involved, so you have to make the experience what it is for yourself. Like, at the end of the day, I'm talking to a screen and reading text. Like, nobody else is really like physically here to where it's like, I have to make this time as good for myself as I possibly can, so that the audience, you guys who are here, are also like able to join in on that, because you will not want to join in on a negative Nancy. Like, that's just kind of the reality. And that it's not quite as true with streaming, because you guys are really here right now talking. With videos, it's 100% true. You're alone. Like, you gotta have the best time by yourself. And the gratification or the payoff doesn't come until later. It doesn't come until after you've posted that video. So, anyway, that's my biggest piece of advice for content creation. Thank you, Twitch Nick, for the fabulous question to start us off. What a good question to start us off. Also, welcome to the chat, Master Starman. Yes, just know that stuff will go wrong. It will. And again, it's not going into it negative, like everything's gonna mess up. It's not that, it's just, you have to be open-minded and like, okay, if something messes up, that whatever, it'll just be dumb and I'll move on. Who else walked in? I'm trying to make sure I didn't miss anybody that wasn't already here. I think I got everybody so far. Trackstar, maybe not. Trackstar, I don't think I said hi to you yet. Welcome. But yeah, thank you so much for the first question. We'll move right along. The next question is, if you only have one game to play, what game would it be? If I only had one game to play, like, for the rest of time, probably The Sims 2, because I could come up with infinitely stupid, like, entertaining storylines. That's probably the number one. Like, for as much as I would love to say Mario Party, which is kind of the same thing, you can kind of rig it your own way or, like, approach it differently. It's just, like, the simulation of The Sims 2 and the creative outlet of it is a little bit broader, so I think, like, for me, that's the game. I mean, it's the game that I continually go back to, that I'm never not playing. Like, I'm literally always playing The Sims 2. And you can make it whatever the heck you want. Like, that is the greatest part of the Sims series in general. I say The Sims 2 because that's my favorite. I've never actually played The Sims 3. I've tried The Sims 4. I don't like it as much. And Sims 1 had more limitations, obviously. So, Sims 2 for me, all the way. Would you ever do a stream and or video showcasing how your stream setup is? If that's something a lot of you are really interested in, I can. My only stipulation with it is that I do not have the best setup for like a realistic... This sounds so dumb. I don't have the best setup for like an actual like computer desk space where like all you're doing is streaming like in your computer area. Like my stream setup is quite frankly in the middle of my living room. I live in a studio apartment, so it's very small. There's not a lot of space. I'm basically in the corner of the living room. And then next to me is my entertainment area. So like my TV that faces my couch in my living room with my game consoles on it and like DVDs and stuff. Like it's not really the most... I don't think it's like the greatest stream setup for like if you have a desk with multiple... Like my desk can't even hold more than one monitor. Like it's... I think the good part about showing it off is like you can literally stream with any setup. Like you don't have to have the perfect setup. That's, you know, quite literally true in my space. But my monitor with my computer is like my stream area, you know, designated like all the technical stuff. But then like why I look to the side is because I'm watching the game on my TV because I don't have space for another monitor, and it's just like to is this a Sims song playing? Oh my god, I can't believe The Sims came on. I'm just listening to video game radio, by the way, if anybody wonders. So all these songs are completely random. I'm so excited. Thank you. Didn't expect that. I've never heard a Sims song on here yet. So anyway, I have like a very chaotic setup is what I'm trying to say. Now, as far as equipment and stuff, I could go over that. Because I will tell you right now, you do not need the best computer in the world. You do not need the most amazing tech. If you're waiting for the day that you have all the most amazing stuff, that's just a pipe dream. Like, it's never gonna happen. Like, you're never gonna have all the most amazing stuff all the time. Like, you have to kind of build up to that. So, like, yes, I would do an explanation of my setup, but it's really not that different from when I did Let's Plays, and I know I have videos on that on my YouTube channel. The only difference is the capture card. Now I use an HD PVR Pro 60. That's a mouthful, I know, but the Hapog, or Hapaugi, as Odie calls it, but, and I use like a little converter for, anything that's not HDMI, so it's like not... you know, old consoles aren't HDMI, so I have to have something. You can get one of those at GameStop. I know they sell them at GameStop. That's where I bought mine. It was like $10, you know? It's a little, God, I can't even, component to, is it component or composite? I get them mixed up. Whichever the yellow, red, white into HDMI. This is why I can't, this is why I'm like, this proves my point. You don't have to be the ultimate tech person because I can't even remember the difference between composite and component in a verbal sense. So no, you're good. Oh wow, Sis! How's it going, Sis? Oh, we love Sizzo. Sis16, everybody's so pro. Sis is an actual pro though. Sis, I'm not doxing you. That's not what I mean. I about said that, but that's not what I mean. I'm just gonna say, like, you didn't even have a desk for a long time and you still streamed. You don't need the ideal setup. I know it was a meme, Sis. You didn't even have a desk. So you don't even have to have a desk to be a streamer. It's a true story. Not to like air Siz's backstory. Who says I have a desk now? So anyway, that was a very long-winded answer to that question, but it's like, yes, I could show my stream setup. I don't know that it would be the most constructive and helpful to your average person who actually has, like, a desk space that's not part of their living room. I don't know that that would be the most helpful, but I could certainly do it if that were someone that was if enough people were interested. I streamed on the floor for SGM. It's true. It looked so cozy. Alright, next question. We have, and I think I had a couple questions that were like the last ones, so if I come across one of those again, I'll probably just skip it. Okay. Which game that you played and didn't enjoy at the time would you be interested in giving another try in the thought that it's likely you may like it more now? This is from Larry Koopa. Thanks, Larry Koopa. Thanks for the quenchi of the denchi. Oh my god, why did I just say that? I'm sorry. So, oh god, I'm trying to think of, like, what game I've played that is, like, legitimately good that I just don't, that I wasn't a fan of, and my immediate thought is like, oh, Undertale, but no, I played that twice and I don't like it. I'm not gonna like that anymore. If I play it again, I won't like it more, I just know. Gosh. What did I play that I was like, I don't like this, and everybody was like, oh my god, if you gave it more of a chance, you would. I'm trying to think, there's gotta be something. There has got to be something. Oh my god, I can't think. Larry asks such good questions. TTYD, I might be interested in revisiting, but I wouldn't, like, I wouldn't stream it because people just kind of ruined it for me when I streamed it, to be completely honest. There was so much backseating and it was, like, such a not good experience that I would not do that again. But it wasn't that I didn't enjoy the game, I didn't enjoy the stream experience, so that's not really fair. New Pokemon Snap gave me motion sickness. I don't know that that would get better. So I don't think that would work either, just because I don't want to be, like, vomiting in my free time. In my free time. I love Mario Tennis. No. I love Mario Tennis. I grew up with that game. Gosh, I might have to think about this one for a minute and get back to you. Because I'm just like, what game was there that I was like, I wasn't everything that I'm thinking of is too recent, too. I need something that's, like, from a while ago. That I played a long time ago, and I just haven't really given it a chance. Beagle Boy, welcome to the chat! I don't know, I'm gonna have to think about that one and get back to you on it, because I'm not sure, honestly, if there is a game like that for me, that is like, oh, I tried it and I didn't like it, but I probably would like it now. I don't know that there's legitimately a good answer for it. All I'm thinking is just like, oh, recent stuff, and that's not fair. It needs to be something I really gave a good try and didn't find a lot of joy in. Okay, I'm gonna think about this one. Okay, hey M-Dubs, I'm looking to stream / create a gaming channel. What do you recommend for a gaming setup? Probably not my particular... I don't recommend my setup, no. That's basically what I was saying in the last question. 2 questions ago. Not the last question. What am I saying? So for setup, I think, like, the number one thing I would recommend is having either... Oh, gosh. I don't even want to say that. I was gonna say, like, invest in a good mic, but, like, sometimes you don't have a good mic to invest in right away, like, so forget that. You might not even be talking. Most important things, multiple cables. I learned this the hard way. Do not stream from a preview window on your computer. Stream using more than one cable going to a second monitor or a TV, in my case. I always use a TV. I've never used a second monitor, but I would recommend 2 monitors. If one's all you have to work with, do it. But I would definitely recommend a second monitor or least having a TV to hook things up to. I'll say it again because I know it's not the easiest thing to remember. I'll just name several, okay? I use an HD PVR Pro 60. There's probably a newer version. I don't know what it's called. It's the Hauppauge Hauppauge. That is the most obnoxious name. They should have named it something else. I'm so sorry. Another capture, that's the capture card I use. Sorry, I don't even think I said capture card. That is the capture card I use. Another capture card I know a lot of people use is the Elgato. It doesn't work with my computer because my computer is not powerful enough, and I don't think it works very well with Macs. I want to say that's the weird hiccup, but I'm going by like information from a couple years ago, so I might be off. AverMedia is the other one. Yes, that's what Odie uses. He has something in his computer, like an internal. You don't need an internal capture card. I don't have an internal capture card. Mine is an external capture. I started out with a Dazzle. I don't even think they sell those anymore. But if you're mainly wanting to stream retro stuff, Dazzles honestly aren't bad. That's not even bad. If you want to do like anything newer though, probably not the best option. But you might be able to get one for cheap secondhand is what I'm trying to say. So, you'll definitely want to have a good capture card. That's the investment piece. You may not need to have the most amazing mic. You don't even need to have webcam if you don't want to. If you do, you don't have to have something amazing right away. Just use what you've got. Like, use whatever you've got, but you do want to invest in your capture card. That's the only piece I would say you absolutely should invest in starting out. You know, some people get around it. They use emulators on their computer. You know, there are ways around it. It just kind of depends on what you want to do. I am not technical enough to really, I didn't even know what an emulator was, I'll be honest, until like I started Let's Playing and heard other people talk. Like, I just didn't know. I'm not the ultimate tech person. I'm okay, but I'm not that good. So, I mean, I know that's kind of like maybe not the most amazing answer, but I do recommend investing in a good capture card. I also like, I really like my microphone. It's the Snowball Ice. Ooh, it's the Snowball mic. If you look up Blue Snowball mic or even just Snowball mic, it'll pop up. The brand, I believe, is the Yeti. There's also Yeti mics. Those are good. I do not prefer a headset. I get really, really hot if I have a headset on the entire time that I'm streaming or recording. I've never really used one. The only time I ever use one is if I'm going to do like multiple people. Like if I'm going to stream something with multiple people talking, so that way there's no echo, because I just use my own like computer speakers or monitor speakers. So like I don't like to have a headset on if I don't have to. If it's going to cause echo, I'll wear one. Like at SGM, I wear one because there's a lot going on, lots of different people talking. I can't have that echoing. But some people really love a headset, and they usually have a mic included. And I have a really nice headset. I just don't really use it much. But if you're gonna get an external like microphone that's not part of a headset, I would definitely recommend Blue Snowball or oh my god, I thought this was that Odin song for a second. It's not, sorry. Or a Yeti mic. I will let you know right now, if you are soft spoken, these mics are not the loud. This is really weird. They aren't the loudest. They do not capture voice loud. Like, that's not what it does. Like, I have to amplify my voice, and I've kind of learned how to do that over the years to get my microphone to pick it up the way I want it. And obviously I can manipulate it on stream to be like better. But if you're like, really, if you're gonna have one of those dainty like anime voices, probably not the best thing. You probably want to get a headset. And also I do know that for men, it's not as big of an issue. If you have a deeper voice, it like, the microphone's like, wow! Because I think the first time I found this out, I was streaming with Slim Kirby. He came over to my house and was like, yeah, let's stream. And it was picking up my voice like it was this dainty little teacup. And then his voice was just like fine. And I'm like, Cool. So keep that in mind if you do get a Yeti mic. Hopefully that question was answered in the way you wanted. Use what you got. That's my biggest piece of advice for that. Are you going to continue of doing Pokemon down the future along with tier list? Huh? Am I going to continue doing Pokemon? That sounds so... I'm sorry, I'm like 12 years old. Yes, I will continue to play Pokemon. I think I've kind of come to a general consensus that unless it's retro, I think I'll more so do like first looks and check-ins of new Pokemon games when I feel appropriate. First looks for sure. Like, here's my first look at this, here's what I chose, here's my setup of the game, and then kind of just take it away from there on my own. And it seems like my audience is most interested in that anyway. Usually when I do a first look, it's like everybody's there for it, and then I'll continue on and it's like most people don't care anymore. So I think, and just because it's such a long, Pokemon games are really long, they're really intricate, I'll probably just do like, again, first looks or check-ins, like if I get to a part of the game that I'm like, ooh, I really want to show this off, then I'll do that. But like, other than that, I think retro is just the way for me to go. Because I loved playing through Pokemon Fire Red for you guys. I loved when I started playing Pokemon Crystal. I've been meaning to start that over with the actual cartridge. I haven't gotten to it yet. My cartridge is on display right here. Oh, yeah. Shout out to Rose Colored Gaming for this hot Game Boy cartridge display. But anyway, it's on display on my desk all the time and it needs to get used. So anyway, cringe. I know. I'm sorry. I'm so cringy. Don't be afraid to be a cringer. That's my other advice for streaming or anything. Yeah, fingers crossed it comes to NSO. We're supposed to get a Pokemon Direct at the end of the month, and it had all like Gen 1 shadows. I don't know. Maybe it's a hint, but I think I'd be interested in replaying the retro games. Just the newer games, I think it's more of a first look kind of deal because I just am way too slow. I'm just too slow. And as far as tier lists, the reason I haven't done any tier lists lately is because I am supposed to have surgery on my thumb in the near future. And once I get that scheduled, I'm going to come up with a stream schedule following that because I'm not going to be able to play games the same way I'm not going to have as many options while I'm healing. So I'm kind of saving like tier lists and stuff like that for when I need them. Which I know I will. I know I'm going to need those after I have that surgery. So yes, the answer is yes. I'm planning on that. Anyway, I really hope Gen 1 through 3 games come to the NSO as well. And I'll be very happy when they do. I will. Who else? Did anybody come in that I haven't said hi to? Yuan? I don't know if that's how you say that. Welcome. Kirby Cart, I don't know if I said hi to you yet. Welcome. And next question, here we go. Okay. Wait, where was I? Yes. What was the biggest item you ever oh gosh. What was the biggest item you have ever crocheted? Probably my Mario Party minigames blanket. I made like a whole minigame blanket. It's not out right now. I have it put away, but it has every single one of the minigames in Mario Party 1 on it with the characters. Like it's just it's a granny square blanket. So each square represents a different minigame in the game with like characters and everything playing it. That took me so long, so much time. And it's like, it's big because it's a blanket, but it's also just like a lot. Like it was so much work. That's probably the biggest piece that I've made, and it was the most intricate. I'm very, very proud of it. I would love to like display it. And I had it on my couch for a while, but then I was like worried it would get messed up because it's like it was just getting thrown around a lot. And I was like, okay, either I need to like hang this on a wall or have this on like its own thing where it can kind of be like not tossed around because it's in a small space. So that's like the biggest thing I've ever crocheted. I think the biggest things are blankets, which I haven't even made that many of because I don't like to make huge things like that. I'm more of a miniature person, but I've made a couple like cocoon style blankets too, but that's probably the biggest thing I've ever crocheted. What is your favorite holiday? Oh my gosh, I love all holidays so much. I'm a big holiday hype person. I get very into holidays, and I honestly probably Christmas, just because it's such an event. I love Christmas. I love what it means. I love buying gifts and giving gifts to people. I love the atmosphere. I love winter and snow. I love Nutcracker season in the ballet world. It's just a cozy, fun time. I think Christmas is probably my favorite holiday. The next question is, how could ya do? How could I be? I don't know. What? Oh, good. The next question is signed. I'm so excited. Okay, the next question comes from NaruSonic51. Thanks, NaruSonic, for the Quenchy. What would you like to be included? Oh, this is a good one. What would you like to be included for the next new Mario Party game, such as gimmicks, theme, characters, etc.? I'm going to kind of answer this in two different ways because I really would love 2 new Mario Party games. I'd love a new Mario Party, and then I would also love a sequel to Superstars. So for the sequel to Superstars, I think this is the easier one to answer right away. I would love to see more Mario Party 8 representation, especially in the minigames. We got like 2 minigames in Top 100 and then like 2 more in Superstars. And as somebody who really, really loves Mario Party 8, I would like to see more of those minigames, especially my favorite minigame that doesn't ever make it back for some reason, Mosh Pit Playroom, what the heck. And I think it'd be cool if there was a sequel if it was all GameCube boards then. Or if it just wasn't even specific. If it was like, here are 5 new boards from random whatever, it doesn't matter. Like, we're not going to specify. I would be happy either way. I don't really think you can go wrong, to be honest. I do like the character roster as it is now. Not that it really matters for me, because I always play as the same person every single time, but I do like the character roster. I think it would be nice if they did some kind of tribute to Tumble and Game Guy. I would like if both of those Mario Party 3 representations were added back in somehow, even if it, or just Game Guy in general should be added back in. Like, his gambling games are really fun, but fun. And then Tumble would just be cute in like a side mode or something. But that's the, I guess I'm not super specific on that because I just take anything. Like, I love it all. As far as a new Mario Party, I think for a new Mario Party, I really did enjoy Super Mario Party. I was not one of those people that was like, it sucked, no. Like, I really did like it. Now, have I played it as much as other Mario Party games? No, I have not. So I'm not like the most amazingly well-versed person in it, but I do think that it would be fun to add. That's another side mode that could be either just added to like a new Mario Party or a sequel to Superstars, would be like the card party mode from Mario Party 5. I think that's really fun. Like, those kind of modes are always so much fun. There's that. There are a lot of like minigame modes in Mario Party 6 that are really fun. Please add Mushroom Medic somewhere again. That's my other request. As far as gimmicks go, I kind of like, I used to say I didn't like this, but actually I think I do. I kind of like the daytime, nighttime gimmick, which I don't really think we've seen in a while. So that would be one that I would add. Theming, I would like to go back to, I guess they kind of did do this in Super Mario Party, but I think I would like to go back to like the playable characters having boards. So like there could be a Rosalina board that's kind of Mario Galaxy-esque. There could be a Daisy board since she never got one that could be like a garden or something, or her cruise ship, I don't know. you know, I think it would be cool to, like, represent, or even represent again, make new boards that are based on characters that already have a board as well. I would really like if there was a Wario board that wasn't just a big bombing battlefield. You know, I just think it would be cool to go back to that kind of theming that was around main characters. I do like the side character theming, but you don't have as much, like, attachment because they're not the ones you're playing as. I think it would be nice to go back to those kinds of themes. And for characters, again, I'm not super specific on this, but I think it would be cool to add, like, I don't know. You know how they always have, like, weirdos in Mario Kart? I think it would be really cool if they just added more of the, like, weirdly, like, who is even thinking about this character? Like, when they added Honey Queen to Mario Kart, I about died. I was so excited. So, like, just, like, the weird off characters, like, having some new ones is always a good thing. I think the number one I would like to come back is Snippet. That would be nice if Snippet was, like, a playable character. What is this? Oh, Mega Man X3. I was like, why have I heard this before? So, anyway, I think that's what I would want. I'm kind of all over the place. I know that's not super straightforward, but I'm just not even that picky because I love it all. And I mean that genuinely. Ooh, Final Fantasy VII. Oh. Alright. Next. Koenchi. I guess we're ready to move on. Make Mario weird again. I need a shirt that says that. I need a shirt that says that. Make Mario weird again. That was like, make Pikachu bad again. It's the same energy. Okay, back to questions. Alright, if you were a gym leader, which type, or types, would you specialize in, and which Pokemon would be your ace? You can use legendaries and mythicals. Oh my god, my Gen 1 partiality. Whoa, what words am I saying? I think I just made up a word. How partial I am to Gen 1 is about to just, like, radiate from my skin. So, my favorite Pokemon is Jigglypuff, who is a I know now she's a fairy type or whatever. But she's a normal type by origination, okay? She was originally a normal type, so I'm like, I tend to really like normal types because they tend to be very cute and bubbly and fun. However, I don't really like battling with normal types as much as other types. I'm a big water type lover, and I love the ocean, and I love aquatic animals anyway, so, like, aquatic Pokemon also kind of bring that out. So I'd be tempted to say I would be a water gym leader, with, like, water types. I think I would want, like, my gym to just be, like, on the beach, and the water is, like, the ocean. I mean, that sounds weird, but, or, like, on a pier. That's where my gym is. It's on the pier, and it's also, like, a carnival. But the other type I really like that I could see myself specializing in is, like, Ghost, and being in a haunted house gym. I think that, but, like, cute. Like a cute gothic-style haunted house gym. I think that's probably a little bit more my vibe. Like, not, you know how they always have, like, oh, the little goth girl? No, I'm not a goth girl. But, like, have the cute, like, spooky, fun girl. That's more me. So I'd say either Ghost or Water. I really like Psychic, too. And I guess Psychic could be part of that, sort of. And my, gosh, who would my ace be? I don't even know, because I'm like, a lot of my favorites don't make sense as, like, an ace. Yeah, Bobo's Haunted Flushing Toilet Gym! Stupid. Oh my god. I think that or I would, oh, okay, wait, hold on. There's another type, and it's not really right, but I don't care. I could also be a cat gym, like all the cats. Like, I could also be cat type, which is, again, not a real type, but I don't care. And if that was the cat, if I had a cat gym, my ace would be per beauty. Sorry, but there's no such thing as per ugly. Excuse you. It would be per beauty, and she would be like this radiant hottie. I also, so that would be my ace if I was a cat gym. And I would just have all the cats. I would have Skitty, I'd have Meowth or Persian or whoever, Glam Meow, Litten, get them all in there. This music is so intense! Oh, Final Fantasy VIII! Do I know it by my soul? I don't, sis, but I do know it's Final Fantasy. Or is this set? What? No, this is Final Fantasy VIII. Don't be afraid. If I were a water, this is why this doesn't make sense. My favorite ghost type Pokemon is Haunter. I honestly like Haunter more than Gengar. I do love Gengar, but it kind of wouldn't make sense to be like, wow, her ace is Haunter. Like, what? And the same goes for Wailmer versus Wailord. I love Wailmer. I love Wailmer, but like, why would I have Wailmer and not Wailord? Like, if I were a gym leader, that would just be kind of weird. So I don't know. I'm not really sure who my ace would be in those. Maybe my ace maybe I'll just go to my roots and be like, if my ace in a water gym would be Blastoise, probably. I do love Blastoise a lot. And I also love Kyogre, but is that fair? I don't know. I know that in the question it said it counts, but I still feel like it's unfair. Still feel like it's unfair. Yeah, I could be like Brock and just keep Onix forever. Maybe I'll just have the Everstone gym where I have all the cuties that are not final evolutions. Totally. So yeah, I think that's what I would do. It'd be one of those three. I think I would be most, I don't know, it just depends. But I like the idea of like a haunted gym. That was like a spooky but fun haunt. Alright, next question. Who are artists from the UK/Europe? Hold on. Who are artists from the UK/Europe do you like that you can think of? Examples include Adele, Dua Lipa, remember I said I didn't know who that was, Spice Girls, etc. Well, my number one favorite artists from UK/Europe are Coldplay, Queen, let me think. I really like Kylie Minogue. God, who's from Europe? I'm like, wait a second. The Beatles. Duh. Like, who doesn't like, come on. Who doesn't like the Beatles? Oh my god. Like, so many artists that I listen to are from Europe, so it's like, god, I have to name, like, too many. It's funny that I love the Spice Girls, too. I mean, they're not, like, super relevant anymore, but, God, there's like too many. There's honestly, yeah, there's too many to name. But if you want like my top picks, there you go. Those are the ones that are like, yes, yes, yes. What is your favorite Let's Play? Okay, I'm gonna answer this in two different ways too. Both with my favorite Let's Play of my own and my favorite Let's Play of someone else. Which I might answer more than one for that, because I don't even know that I could choose. But, my favorite Let's Play that I've ever done is Let's Play Animal Crossing, the original. That was the most fun, that was the one that I got the most creative with, and I was very proud of myself, put myself on the Let's Play map with, and the rest is history. That is my favorite Let's Play, of my own, that I've ever made. My favorite Let's Play of someone else, my favorite comfort Let's Play, and he would be like, oh my god, that's so embarrassing, why, is, I love Slim Kirby's original Mario Party Let's Play. If I have anxiety, I turn it on. It's just funny and takes me back to another time when I was also struggling with anxiety, and like that just helped me out. So I love I love that. It's just like a time capsule. It's just silly, like, to go back and watch these videos now. I also really love Griffin Lobster's Let's Play of Mario Galaxy. I don't even care. He never finished it. I don't care. It's just entertaining. Like, I always loved it. It was such a fun project to watch. And every time I'll rewatch it quite a bit. So, you know, I'll rewatch it periodically and just have it on in the background or something because it's pretty long. I love that. I love... I never saw the original, okay? This is the second time around, but I love Dark Minded Sith's Let's Play Banjo-Kazooie. It was so funny. The first episode I ever watched was in real time. It was... He first got to... What is the name of it? The snow level. I don't know. He started out the video with, like, this Mariah Carey tribute to the, like, enemies that met their demise in the last episode, and I'm like, what is this? Just, his humor in that Let's Play is ridiculous. And I thought he did a great job. So that's another one that I really, really love. And I do love Odie's Rad Gravity. For the memes, it's great. I always really love, and she's like, why? But I love, it's another unfinished one, but I don't care. I always loved Little Foo's Let's Play of Kingdom Hearts. It was always such a comfort watch. It was great. I don't care what she says about it. It was great. And there are like a million others. I just, you know, it's another one that's like too many to name. Those are off the top of my head. Yeah, those definitely add some serotonin to my life. Also, Marv DC fan, welcome to the chat. I'm probably forgetting some major ones that I'm gonna kick myself later for being like, how did I not say that? So those are some of my favorite Let's Plays. Okay, whoa, I scrolled way too far. Why did I scroll this far down? Okay, based on your YouTube archive, your last traditional Let's Play was Kirby 64. Was it? In your traditional Let's Play era, what other games would you have wanted to record yourself playing but couldn't for any reason? This is a good question. I like this. I actually said this recently. I always wanted to do a Super Mario World Let's Play. I never did because I didn't know all the secrets. I felt like I would be getting actually so much in the comments that I was kind of nervous too. I always felt like I need to replay it through it again and like learn everything again before I do that, and I just never found the time to do it. So like, that's one that I think I'll revisit. Maybe even in this year, like maybe sometime soon even, that would be fun to revisit Super Mario World and play with you guys, because then like people could live give me feedback like, wait, the secret is up here, like don't forget, because I will not remember. It's been so long, and that's a game that I played all the way through and like went back and played levels over again, but I didn't like unlock things multiple times. So that's one I always wanted to do a Let's Play of. Mega Man 6 is my favorite Mega Man game. I always wanted to do a Let's Play of that, but I didn't have it. My sister had the cartridge. I didn't have an NES or a Duo knockoff NES thing. Now I have a way to play it, so that would be another one that would be fun. But again, it's been so long. Thank you for the follow, by the way. It's been so long that I'm just like, ooh, honey, do I remember? I'll probably suck, but I don't care. I would still play it. Those were two that I always thought I would Let's Play and never actually ended up doing. Those were like the two that come to mind that are like, oh, I always meant to do that, but never did. But yeah, that's a great question. I was like, what song is this? So, you need a good Steiner's Navigator? I'll write you a good document, okay. For Mario World, Sis? Is that what you're saying? I got, no, I didn't get Mega Man Legacy Collection on Switch, but I did get, it wasn't, I don't think it was Legacy Collection, but Odie got me one of them on the PS4. And I don't think I like playing as much on like a PS4 controller, but yeah. So I do have it. I do have it in that way. But yeah, those are the two that I always meant to do and never did. Or even like, kind of like all the Mario games too. I always meant to revisit like Mario 1 or Lost Levels and didn't do those either. But those weren't as much what I had planned to do. Do you think the Nintendo Switch 2 will be announced this year or next? What would you like to see in the Switch 2? Odie thinks it will. I honestly don't. I really don't see them announcing a brand new Nintendo console in the next year or two because of how well the Switch is doing, which is kind of Odie's same argument for why he thinks they will. I just don't see it because it's kind of thriving as is, and with them adding these like new services, a backlog, like we just got Game Boy and Game Boy Advance. We still haven't heard anything for GameCube. I just think it's a matter of time. And it's still very much a work in progress, so I don't anticipate it. However, whenever they do come out with the next Nintendo console, I kind of always get excited for the same things. It always means the same thing. It usually means new Animal Crossing, new Mario title, like big Mario title of some sort, new Mario Kart, or just a bunch of added tracks to Mario Kart 8, I guess. But I just, it's not even something I'm that picky about. I think the thing I would be most excited about would be at like a new Animal Crossing again. That would probably be the number one. Okay. The next one is super random question alert. Okay. I remember way back, you were on a YouTube gaming show with fellow YouTube Let's Players. I think the host of the show went by the username Dodger. She did, but I could be wrong. I wanted to ask what you remembered from that experience. So that was kind of a crazy, weird experience. I was on Dodger's show. It was just a random, like, gaming show that we played Nintendo Land on. And we dressed in Key-Goose, played Nintendo Land, and just, like, talked about games. And it's somewhere on the internet, archived somewhere. So the company that I was signed with on YouTube at the time was, it was called Polaris, and then it became Maker Studio later. Polaris was like I want to say it was like the game name, like the gaming part of it. It was like part of the Game Station, if you guys remember that. But anyway, I went out to visit my best friend in LA, Big Bree. She's here all the time. I visited Bree in LA, and I told my company that I was going to be out there, and they were like, well, you should come into the studio and be part of the show. And I'm like, okay. So I went to the studio, and it was very, it was kind of like a weird out-of-body experience in a way, because it was like, well, how in the world did I end up in this, like, studio in LA on a game show? Like, these are things that I didn't ever picture happening as a product of me just making random cringy videos on YouTube. Like, that's just not something I thought was going to happen. But it was funny because the two girls that were, like, that kind of took care of me that day, like, they got me food, and I felt like a celebrity. I really did, because it was like they got me food. They let me pick out my Kigu and stuff, but they were interns at this company. And the company was really cool because it was like all these people set up at their computers in basically this big kind of like almost warehouse looking space. And they all had their dogs with them. And I'm like, why are there so many dogs in here? You know, they would have like dog beds, and it's like, oh, well, we don't believe in like, the company really believes in having your pets with you while you work. So people are allowed to bring their dogs with them to work so they don't have to be alone at home all day. And I was like, that's so great. You know, like I just thought that was fantastic. One of my favorite little anecdotes to share from that experience is that the interns were like, too bad you weren't here yesterday. And I'm like, why? And they were like, well, they were like, Snoop Dogg's studio is next door and he comes over a lot and visits, and he was here yesterday. And I'm like, what? Like, that's such a random thing. I'm like, okay. I'm like, imagine if I went and I was like, well, you know, I hung out with Snoop Dogg. Like, that would be the weirdest story ever. So it was just such a kind of like fantasy experience, because it was like the first and really the only thing I've ever done that was like that, because I've only been to LA once. And it was just a big, I was very honored to be part of it. I felt very, very lucky to be in that position. Everybody on the show is super nice. Dodger's super nice. And the only thing that was like sus to me, was that the makeup artist came in to do our makeup. And I'm big into makeup, you guys. I love cosmetics. I love makeup. And I remember the makeup artist that was there that day, she was supposed to like do my makeup, and she put on like a little bit of like foundation and natural eyes, like, and that was it. And I was like, am I gonna get like actual makeup for this thing? Because I was under the impression I'd have like eyes and lips and, you know, mascara, eyeliner. And she's like, she gave me like this dirty look and was like, well, most gamer girls don't wear makeup like that. And I was like, honey, this gamer girl does. And then she was like, okay. Like, I was like, what? What a weird thing to say. I was like, honey, I am glam. I come from the competitive dance industry. If I don't have big eyelashes and red lips, there's gonna be a problem. Like, no. So that was like her diva moment turned into my diva moment. Like, you're not gonna tell me I'm going on this show as plain Jane. Absolutely not. So, because I would have done my own makeup if I had known, but I didn't think that the person would have a little attitude about it. So I remember that being like, excuse you, but yes, you better. I was also probably had more of an attitude because, oh my god, of course, I started my period there on the couch at the studio right before I was supposed to get in this Kigu. And I was like, if I get blood on this Kigu, I am going to be like mortified for the rest of time. Be like, cool, that was the girl that got blood on the couch. So I was like, I remember I went to the bathroom and I tried to buy a pad and like the little machine or a tampon or anything. It just stole my cord or didn't work, didn't do anything. And I was like, dying. I was so dead. I just remember being like, oh my god, I was on like the heaviest period of my life when I was in LA. And I had to go to like one of the producers and be like, can I have a tampon? So that sticks out in my head too. That sticks out in my brain like, oh yeah, that was when I almost got blood all over the costume and the couch because my body was like, what? We're gonna have a moment? So I was like, I better have makeup so at least they remember that I looked good. So yeah. That's what I remember from that experience. It was really fun though. It was really a great day and a great experience, and just a super, like I said, it feels like kind of like an out-of-body experience. Like, did that really happen? Because it was just so not the norm from what I typically do. So anyway. Alright, next, what's my next question? I'm really glad somebody remembered that though. Thank you for asking that question. Would you ever do a Let's Play revisit... would I ever do a Let's Play revisiting all of my Animal Crossing towns? You could dedicate an episode to each Animal Crossing town that you have, starting from your oldest town to your newest. I probably wouldn't do a Let's Play, but that would be like a fun stream idea, like a stream of revisiting Animal Crossing towns, and that has more so become... A lot of the streams I've done for Animal Crossing have been in partnership with my St. Jude Play Live campaign over the past several years, so that would be like a fun incentive maybe that I would do just as part of that, because then it kind of gives like a bigger purpose to doing that. I like to kind of... Here's my thing with Animal Crossing. It's the Let's Play started out as a very like community based thing, so I kind of like to keep it that way, so it's not like, look at this distant memory that a lot of people weren't a part of. Like, I don't want it to have that vibe. So I feel like I try to incorporate it where like it's not just like a bunch of insiders from 10 years ago that certain groups can understand and other people feel left out. But that would be like a fun incentive idea for that. I don't know that I would... I think my Animal Crossing town is on my Wii for New Pimp. Which, shout out to Gaia for naming New Pimp. That was not my idea. And that was such a good idea. I couldn't say no. Pimphood I for sure have here. That's why we've seen it before. New Pimp is on my Wii, which is packed up at my sister's place because it's in storage. So, like, I don't have access to that one right now because I transferred everything on my Wii originally to my Wii U, and then I did my Let's Play on my Wii, and it has, like, its own file because of that. If that makes sense, because I have, like, a different file on my Wii U than on my Wii now, because it's not what it used to be. I don't know if that makes sense, because I transferred all the data over before I did that Let's Play. That's what I'm trying to say. Everything else I would have, though. I would have the 3DS one. I never did a Wild World one. But that would be a fun thing to do as a stream, or a stream incentive for, like, charity or something. That's probably what I would do. Anyway, okay, next question. Would you ever do a reaction video to the first episode of Pimphood? I actually did do a reaction stream to the first several episodes of Pimphood, so that's archived somewhere. I think, again, it was part of St. Jude Play Live, maybe St. Jude Play Live 2020, maybe? But that definitely has already happened, so that should be archived on YouTube somewhere. I did do a whole reaction stream for the anniversary of it, because it was like the 10-year anniversary, so that would have been 2020 then. But yeah, so that already exists, so yes I would, and yes I did. What are some of your favorite beverages to drink? Chai tea latte from Starbucks is my, like, hot beverage of choice. Dr. Pepper is probably my favorite soda. H2O. Can't go wrong. All the time. I also love vitamin water. Triple X. That's my #1 favorite flavor. Triple X vitamin water. What is a game series you have wanted to stream but never got around to it yet? Oh, Kirby Kart! This comes from you. Kirby Kart 641. Thank you for the question. Game I have wanted to stream but haven't gotten around to it yet. Let me think. Sorry, game series. I keep saying I'm gonna stream Mario 64. And I did, technically. I played an hour of it for the Giving Tuesday Give Back stream. But that's one that I would like to play in full. And that was one that I meant to play last year and I just didn't. So I guess you could say it's one that I haven't gotten around to yet. Banjo-Tooie is the other one. I would like to play Banjo-Tooie. I know it's huge, so I don't know how long it would take or how long it would run. But that's another one that I really would like to give a shot at some point. Yoshi's Gamers, welcome to the chat, by the way. Combs 711, how's it going? Welcome. I think those are like the main ones though, because I would add Pokemon Legends, but I did actually finally do my my first look at that. So those are probably the main ones. The N64 stuff that I meant to do last year and have not gotten around to doing. Those are the ones that stick out for me at the moment. Thank you, Kirby Kart. Now I need to go back to where I was. There we go. Hey, Matt, I've been a fan since 2010, my dude. What was your biggest motivation to join YouTube in the first place? Like, to start Let's Playing? My biggest inspiration came from, this is gonna sound so, like, tragic. My life was kind of falling apart when I discovered the Let's Play world, and it was just something it was something that I was very excited to discover for multiple reasons. A, I already love making videos and content. I had pretty much done that my whole life in different ways. B, my competitive dance career had just ended because when you graduate from high school, basically you're done competing, you're done training, you move on to to professional endeavors and auditioning and all that fun stuff. But I was unable to do that because I had a stomach ulcer, was very, very sick, and was unable to live life normally at that time. I could hardly eat. I could hardly get up like most of the day. It was very hard to function. I developed a lot of anxiety around that time. Never experienced anxiety before until then. And it was all surrounding, like, I couldn't eat and I couldn't live my life normally. And making Let's Plays kind of was like a way to do something, to create something. I'm a creative person, so I love making things, but like it was a way to create something that didn't require anything besides just like being alone in my room, doing my own thing, playing games. Like, great. So as far as like my biggest motivation, that was kind of it. Was kind of like finding something new and finding an escape. My parents were divorcing. The rest of my family had all moved out. It was a very dark place in my household. We were losing our home. We had gotten threatened to be evicted because it was like the, you know, things were just falling apart in my personal life. So that my biggest motivation was to find something I had control of and run with it. And that's what I did. My biggest motivation as far as like a fellow Let's Player who also did this was the only person I really knew about at all at that time was Slim Kirby, because I had looked up Mario Party stuff. So like I was like, oh, I could do something like he does. So like that was kind of like my inspiration as far as like someone who I knew that did this. And so I was like, this is something I could do too. But yeah, it was my biggest motivation was having no control in a dark place and finding something I had control of. That was my number one motivation. Deep cut, sorry, but that's the truth, to be totally honest. And I think we've all been there. You know, video games provide a pretty dang amazing escape from reality. So, thank you for the question. I don't know if somebody has already asked this, but what was your favorite YouTube LP you've ever done? Somebody did already ask it, and it is my Let's Play of the original Animal Crossing on GameCube. Hello, if you could make your perfect Mario Party game, what would you put in it? My perfect Mario Party game would be a whole collection of all the retro boards from 1 to 8 and DS. All the boards, all the mini games, all in one, all the characters that have ever been playable online, and remastered. That would be the number one. Yes, that would be my ultimate, my perfect Mario Party. As for new Mario Party, I talked about this earlier. I'm not super picky. I don't even care, but that's what I really want, is like a whole collection. Like, I want an everybody's here, except for Mario Party instead of Smash, obviously. Anyway, next question. Where am I? Favorite movie? The Nightmare Before Christmas. That is my all-time favorite movie. You can only pick one hottie. Who do you pick? Sesshomaru, Sephiroth, or Riku? Sesshomaru. Hands down. No contest. Sorry, love you guys. You're great, but I'm team Sesshomaru at the end of the day. Like, my car is, like, themed after this guy, okay? I can't say my car is themed after the other two, but I do love them, and I do have, appropriate... I realized this the other day. I was like, in love with Riku when I was 13. He's 15, so okay. Then I graduated. At 15, I was, like, in love with Sesshomaru. He's supposed to be 19, I think, so it's like, okay, graduated again. And then I'm like, how old is Sephiroth supposed to be? So I looked it up, and it's like, oh, he's supposed to be about 30, and I'm like, okay, good. I was about 30 when I fell in love with him. So I'm pretty good on the ages, I guess. What is your least favorite Mario game? Whew, okay. There are a lot of Mario games, and there are a lot of Mario games I haven't played. I'm gonna simplify this by picking my least favorite of the classics, like Mario 1, 2, 3, and Lost Levels. Probably Lost Levels, just because it's really, it was a time. Like, I definitely had to put a lot of work in to beat it when I was little. I beat it when I was 10, and I was very proud. But I haven't, like, had the motivation to pick it up and beat it since, just because, like, I did it then, and I'm like, well, that was a challenge. However, I do kind of like how it is challenging, far more challenging than the first game, because the first game's kind of, like, a little bit boring to me at this point. It's the classic, and I don't diss that. And if I had to choose between the two, I'd probably pick the easier one for, like, the sake of being more fun. So probably Lost Levels would be my least favorite of all of those. Mario games in general, I don't even know that I would have a good answer. I wasn't a big fan of Mario Odyssey. I didn't like Mario Odyssey, but it just really wasn't my style of game. It was way too open world, and I had way too much freedom. But I don't know that it's, like, my least favorite because I haven't played them all. So I think it's easier to simplify and just talk about the retro ones. Okay. If you could live anywhere in the world for a year with all expenses fully paid for, where would you live? Oh my god.
I give my bye straight.
Let's go.
I don't know what to think about that.
Oh, thank you so much, Colbobo, for the resub.
Hi, I loved watching your YouTube vidas and have watched a couple of streams. Hope you're doing well.
Aw, thank you so much. Welcome back to the Ba family. Thank you so much for the sub. I appreciate that. So, welcome to the chat. Pogo Science, welcome to the chat. Anybody else who has joined us. Yoshi's Gamers, welcome to the chat. I don't know if I said hi to you already, and I'm sorry if I did. Okay. Also, sorry, I'm just now, like, reading chat. I've been, like, on a roll with questions and not looking at chat as much, and that's not fair to you guys, so I feel like Superstars might be slowly starting to become that, like a full collection comb. Probably. I hope so. That's what I hope. I could see it heading that way, to be honest. Okay. So where would I choose to live for a year, all expenses paid, if I could? Probably, I absolutely loved the city of Paris when I visited when I was 12. I would probably say somewhere like that, like Paris or London, just because I've always been very connected to European culture in general, but also, like, I've been there before and I would love to go back and not have to worry about anything. However, it's a tough choice because it's like those are very much cities and great, but I also would love to go to Hawaii for a year, just all expenses paid, and learn how to surf and live on the beach. It's a toss-up. I don't know. I also don't speak French, so, like, that might be a little... It would be tough, but it would also be kind of fun to, like, pick some things up over the course of a year, and take, like, ballet classes in France, or take class at the Royal Ballet or something. Ugh, I don't know. I don't know which one I would pick. It would be one of those three. It would be one of those three. But maybe Hawaii. I don't know. I don't know. What's my favorite chick flick movie? I have a lot of favorite I love chick flicks a lot. Probably Mean Girls. It's probably my number one. Mean Girls is my favorite chick flick. I'm also a big fan of Legally Blonde. I love Mean Girls. I love Legally Blonde. You really can't go wrong with most chick flicks. I love all of them so much. So much.
No, I don't know what to think about that.
Oh, Kaboomek! Dabs!
But they're not your average points.
Dabs.
Dab. Thank you so much for the resub, Kaboomek. Always appreciated. Welcome to the stream. And welcome to the chat. I do think it would be fun to live in Japan for a year. However, my sister did live in Japan for a year, and I think it'd be, but she didn't live, like, right in Tokyo. I mean, obviously, like, public transportation's, like, totally different there from where I am, where it doesn't exist. But it would be fun to live in Tokyo too. But I think, like, for my personal taste, I just want to be on the beach for a year. I think when it would come right down to it, I'd pick Hawaii probably. Or Paris. I don't know. I don't want to pick. What was the best vacation you ever took and why? Well, oh man. I have like two favorites because these were both just so good. One was my honeymoon. I went to Disney World on my honeymoon with my husband Odin's back last year. And it was just so much fun. Like, we had so much fun. Like, it was just like, I was never one of those kids that went to Disney World with her family. I never went to Disney World. We never had a Disney vacation. My parents didn't have the kind of money to like splurge on a Disney vacation for their 4 children. In addition to all the other things that we did, we just didn't have the budget for it. So that just wasn't our price tag was lower than that. And also they hadn't grown up like going there either, so it wasn't like a big deal. Like, my mom had been to Disneyland, my dad had been to Disney World when they were like teenagers, and that's it, like once, and it was not, you know, it had changed so much since then. They didn't really have the drive for it, I don't think, to be like, wow, we need to take our family there. And so I think just to have like an experience with my husband, you know, my best friend and favorite person ever, like just going there and sharing it with him, because I had so much built there from when I worked there. My first time I ever went to Disney World was an all expense paid trip, funnily enough, that I won through my YouTube company. And it was only a few days long, and it was a conference in addition to like going around, but it was just me by myself, like with my host, she was amazing. I loved her. But you know, it's not the same as like going there with somebody just on vacation, even though everything was paid for. Like, that was great. But in this case, everything was paid for again because we had our honeymoon fund. A lot of you guys helped out with it. We had family and friends donate to it instead of buying us wedding gifts like physically. And it just was like one of the only vacations I've ever taken where I have not had to worry about one thing. Like, just eat what you want, like get what you want, do what you want, and it's not like, oh my god, but this is $5 more than doing that and we can't do that. Like, it wasn't like that, and it was all included anyway in the park. So it was just so worry-free, such a good experience. We had so much fun together, and it was just like a great time. My other favorite vacation will always be to Myrtle Beach as a kid. The one that sticks out most, and I even went to Myrtle Beach with Odie, and it was like the same thing, but I think I want to go back like with family now too, because it's like that's how I grew up, was going with a ton of my extended family there. But the one that sticks out for me, I went when I was 16 on a Myrtle Beach vacation with my extended family, which I hadn't been able to do for years because I always went to dance competition there, and that's the focus, that's what you're there for, that's what you do, and then like the beach is kind of second. This was the opposite of that, because I had taken a break from dance for a year to recover from pneumonia. I was healthy, I was living my best life, and I was going back to dance in the fall, so it was kind of like my big hurrah before. And I stayed with my extended family, my cousin, who I love dearly, her mother, who is no longer with us. That's such a cherished memory now because I got to experience that with her before she passed away. Like, so much of my extended family was there, and it was so much fun. And all my friends were there at the same time. All my dance friends were there competing at nationals, so I got to go watch them and cheer them on and spend time with them in addition to... It was like the best of both worlds, like, coming together. And then, the week after that was over, my immediate family drove down, and I got to stay longer than anybody else, and we had our own vacation afterwards. So it was like this huge extended vacation of everybody who I would want to go on vacation with. That was my favorite one. So those are some of my favorite vacations and favorite trips. Loved so much. I think I'm going to take a quick break here just to rest my voice. I might make a little cup of tea or something, because I think we're about halfway, probably a little over halfway. I think we're a little over halfway, honestly. So this is a good time to take a break. If you guys need to get a drink or a snack or something, feel free. And then we'll go back to the questions. I really have loved all the questions so far, you guys. There hasn't been one that I've skipped either. Like, there have been no, like, cringy questions, like, you know, like the question I got back on in the YouTube days that was like, who would you rather have sex with, me or Peach? And I'm like, what? So there's been nothing like that. And now I think I know my answer to that question. I'd be like, oh, Peach, because I actually know who she is and she probably doesn't have an STD. And if you're asking this, you probably do. So anyway, but I will be right back. So don't go anywhere, but do take a break for yourself. Be right back. Hey guys, it's MadameWario. Welcome back to Ask MDub, the Q&A extravaganza, live on Twitch. We are currently listening to As Wet as a Fish. That's the name of this song, which I think is hilarious. It's from Super R-Type. You guys have asked some really fun questions so far. I want to just commend all of you for being so awesome and providing such great questions. This has been a lot of fun to do. And I think we're a little over halfway down the list now. So let's see. Yeah, there aren't as many questions left, so I'll probably, if I finish all of these, we'll open it up to you guys in chat. If you have anything else. Excuse me. I did make some tea, but it's very hot. It's too hot to drink right now, so I gotta let it cool a little bit. But I am gonna get back to the questions. So, the next question is, in the future, do you plan on dedicating one of your stream days to where you do live stream playthroughs of a game from start to finish? Whether it be old games, new games, or games you've never played before, like your blind 2017 live stream playthrough of Banjo-Kazooie, and eventually your blind live stream playthrough of Ocarina of Time, whenever you reach your sub goal for it. So currently what I do is, typically I have different days designated for certain things. Like Friday is always designated for all the Mario parties in the series, in order or board by board like we're doing now. Another Pokemon song, let's go! And the rest, other than Friday, my Saturday, Monday, sometimes Tuesday schedule changes to be whatever is most fitting for the time. So nothing is like set in stone except for Friday. Friday's the only thing that I really like to keep, like, yes, that's always on Friday. I've never had... I haven't had a game come up like when I first started streaming. The first time I streamed, seriously, not just like a one-off Halloween stream every year, but like when I started seriously streaming instead of Let's Playing on YouTube, I started with Banjo-Kazooie, and I had to stream almost every day for an allotted amount of time, and they were like 2-hour streams. They were never really long streams by any means. And sometimes they were after I got done teaching dance, sometimes they were on days that I didn't have anything else going on, or sometimes they were before I went in to teach. But I did that so I could reach affiliate, and it was really fun doing that, and really fun having like every single day be dedicated to the same game, and it feels like such a longer period of time that I was playing it, when really it was like a week, and it feels like that went on for like 2 months. But it didn't. It couldn't have. And I've always wanted to do, it just kind of hasn't worked out in the past few years, but I've always wanted to do like a stream week in the summer where every single day I stream for 2 hours, and it's like either a variety or like that where it's one game from start to finish. Even when the Ocarina of Time goal gets reached, my plan for it is to designate one day to that game. Like I dedicate Saturdays to Ocarina of Time, because right now Saturday's just like a variety day. Monday is Mario Party Monday at the moment, but even that could change. Like, I really just took feedback from the survey I gave out to all of you that many of you responded to, saying you would like Mario Party more than once a week, or you would like more Mario Party than just the series on Friday. So that's why I decided to work in the Monday stream. And so I do dedicate a specific day for games from start to finish. I did that last year with Bowser's Fury and with Kirby and the Forgotten Land. I think I had 2 days dedicated to that, actually, because it was a little bit longer game. But so I do this. It's just something that we've been doing a little bit more variety as of late, as of the past couple months. So if you're asking, like, will I dedicate a stream day for certain projects? Absolutely. But I really would like to do an event at some point that's like every single day is the same game until it's finished. I think that would be a fun way to approach that. So thank you for the question. The next one is, which game series on any system do you think has the best music overall? Okay, which game series on any system do you think has the best music overall? Oh my god. Okay, that's tough. because I definitely have my favorite soundtracks. And my favorite soundtrack in the world is Paper Mario, and the other Paper Mario games in the series are kind of a hot mess as far as like theming, and they're a little bit more all over the place because they didn't all stay in the same exact style. I do like TTYD's soundtrack a lot, but I'm not super familiar with the other soundtracks in the series. Like, I can always tell Origami King because it's like chaotic, but the others I'm like not even as familiar with. Honestly, I think the series that consistently has like great music, in my opinion, is the Mario Kart series. Like, those songs are always like pretty memorable for me. They always stand out, like, this is Mario Kart. And they're always songs that I'm like, they're comforting to me in a way, almost, or like more, like, even when they're not super high energy, there's still something about them that has that kind of, I don't know, that just has that same kind of spirit as all the other games in the series. Like, I really like the Mario Kart soundtrack overall, from Super Mario Kart, which is the first one that I ever had, and it's the first in the series, and having, like, you know, you had all the, like, upbeat God, what am I trying to say? Songs, sorry. Each track had their own upbeat song, but then each character had their own, like, theme for when they were finished with a race, and those were really pretty mellow overall. I really like that series of soundtrack. Another one that I always have liked is the Animal Crossing soundtrack. The original is my favorite, but, like, I still feel like the hourly songs are noticeably, like, that they're very, like, recognizable. So those are probably, like, favorite series soundtrack. I would probably say those two are the biggest standouts for me. What is your favorite memory of Kit when she was a kitten? Okay, well, Kit was a kook when she was a kitten, and it's so funny because she's a lot shyer now than she was, just by, I think that she suffered a lot of, like, it was very traumatic for her when she moved out of my mom's place and into mine. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Excuse me. When she was staying with my mom right before I took her in, my mom was moving out, and it was lots of people that she didn't really see very often, moving big pieces of furniture, all kinds of stuff out, kind of like tearing up her world. So I think that kind of was a little bit traumatic for her. Then when she came to my apartment and started living with me, it was like she really adapted well and found a lot of comfort here. But I think she just, like, became a little more skittish, I guess, as a result of that experience. And it's not like she suffered anything like anything abusive. I think it was just she was young enough to where it was very scary for her to not understand, and she hadn't really been living with my mom for a super, super long amount of time to know, like, that wasn't a normal occurrence. So, she's a little bit more skittish now, but she used to do this when you would go visit my mom and she was a little baby. She would block the door, like, especially if you were about to leave. If you got your stuff to leave, she would lay right in front of the door like, you're not going anywhere. Like, you are not allowed to leave this house. You are not allowed to leave me. And it was always the cutest thing, like her little body just being pressed up against the door like, nope, not leaving. But one of my favorite memories of her was actually the whole family was over. I think we had dinner. We had dinner for something. I don't know if it was my mom's birthday or some other reason. But we had dinner over there, and we're looking around, and we're like, where's Kit, you know? She didn't go by Kit then, but I was like, where's Kitty? And she had to... There are pictures of it. She had downright gone into my mom's bed, tucked herself into the blanket, and her little head was on my mom's pillow, just... She put herself to bed, and she was, like, under the covers with her head on the pillow. I'll have to... If I find this picture... later tonight. I will share it in Discord and on Twitter so you guys can see. But it was like the cutest little thing, and she was just such a ham about it. Like, look, I tucked myself into bed while you guys were talking, and it was so adorable. So those are some of my favorite memories of her as a kitten, because what a goof, and how cute. So gotta love those kitten moments. What features would you like to see on a next generation Nintendo console? What features do I want to see? I do like the concept of... I like the concept of where we are now, that it can be a home console but also on the go. I don't even... I think what I would like to... You know what I would honestly like to see more, or done better, is just like a better interface. Like, I know that the Wii... You know how it had like all the different channels on the Wii, and you could like browse the internet on there, and you could gift friends games that would just appear as like a little present that you could unwrap. They took all that away, and I don't know why. I really would like a better layout as far as features of the console itself. And I would like the option to be able to gift friends games just because you want to, or like you're away from family or whatever. Like, that would be so nice to have that feature. And it just, they had so many good features on the Wii that they took away, and I don't understand that. And the Wii U as well, but I just really like the design of the Wii because it was very simplified, whereas the Wii U wasn't as simple, I don't think. Also, just like having streaming services directly on there. I know these are all like kind of dumb, like you could just do this with anything, but like it would be nice to have that be part of it. Where's that like eShop music theme, you know? I just think those little details made the system a little bit more special when it was back during the Wii era and all that. So like, as far as features, like, that's more the kind of stuff that I wish they would add back, that they've taken away since. And I know that might not be the answer you were necessarily looking for, because I really do like where we are right now. I also think that if they do a Joy-Con thing, they need to be bigger. They're just like not the most healthy things to hold for a long period of time. I mean, they're great for like Just Dance, where you don't want a lot of weight and you have to hold a controller, but like, still, I don't know. There's just something about the size of those tiny little Joy-Cons that seems weird to me, and always has, but anyway, that's just kind of how I feel about that. And, oh, that's your question, Quincy Crossing! Kit is not, sorry, I'm just now catching up with chat. Kit is not Kit's real name. Her name is Noelle, because my mom got her for Christmas. And her actual name is Noelle, but no one calls her that. I started calling her Kitty when she was really little, and then as she grew up, it shortened to Kit. And I would call her Key, too, sometimes. So, that's just what happens with pets, I guess. But anyway, yeah, I just think that, like, the stuff that I want on the future Nintendo console is more of a throwback to, like, what some of the older consoles had that was really enjoyable. C9Cage, well, I miss Check Me Out channel. I miss all the, like, fun, goofy channels. Or, like, the Mario Kart. We just talked about it. Or, like, all the, like, the Weather channel and the, like, voting channel, you know. Was Check Me Out the voting channel? Or was that named differently? I don't know, but I remember really loving that, too. I still remember the Feed Key a Treat Redeem. I had to, like, do away with those because they would be so cozy. Sleeping when, like, the girls just, look at Julie. Even right now, she like, I'm cozy back here. You get so cozy and snoozy when I stream. I don't want to wake you up and give you treats. They're like, yeah, that's great. I don't care. Anyway. This is Sherbertland from Mario Kart Double Dash. I thought it was Daisy Cruiser too at first, but no, it's not. Which is kind of goofy that we both thought that. That was the Everybody Votes channel. Yes, I love the Everybody Votes channel. All right, next question. How long have you danced for? What types of dance do you know, and how long have you practiced each? I started dancing when I was 2 years old. I started with jazz. That was the style that I was enrolled in first when I was 2. When I was 3, I took on ballet in addition to jazz, so I added one type. So I started doing ballet when I was 3 years old. And then by the time I was 4, I started doing a little bit of everything available to that age. So I did tap, jazz, and ballet. I also got into tumbling, probably around that same age, and started learning how to tumble. And then from there, as I got older, I was introduced to traditional modern style dance when I was 10. Right before I turned 10. So when I was 9, really. Final Fantasy. Then when I was probably around 9 years old, 7 or 8 years old, I was introduced to lyrical, started doing more like musical theater. That was when it kind of branched into like, every other style. The last style that you typically are introduced to is traditional modern, because it takes a lot of like muscle and you have to establish that before you can do it. That and point dancing, because obviously you have to have ballet for so long and get your bone structure up to a good point where you're not going to grow much, or your growth plates are done so you don't injure yourself. But those come later, but not, it's usually in your like preteen years. But I have been dancing since I was 2 years old, and I actively practice my whole life. Like, I consider myself a dancer, a professional dancer. It's one of the things I have done for a living. I don't do traditional performance as much now, but I audition when I can. And it's not like, I don't do it anymore. Like, it's not like that at all. It's just that it's not as consistent as when I was like a student going every day. I'm not like in a dance company right now, which my goal was never to be like a dancer in a dance company. I always wanted to be more on the directorial side of things, doing directing, teaching, choreography, that kind of stuff. And I actually taught dance from the time I was 17 until I was like 29. And it was right before COVID hit, so it was kind of a blessing in disguise. I had left my studio that I was teaching at to pursue my own dance company, or to start my own show, or to just try something new. But then COVID happened and it kind of put a hold on that, and I still haven't really gotten to figuring out exactly how I want to pursue that now. Now that things are a little bit different and I've had some time to process like exactly what I want. And I think in the future, I want to go more into the media realm with dance, as far as like I want to make like dance videos and stuff. I would love to teach again at some point. I just haven't been called to teach in the way that, first of all, I don't feel like I've been like in the position where that's been a priority because of everything else going on in my life. But I feel like I will teach again eventually. And when that calling happens, it'll happen. I also have taken the opportunity when I'm not teaching to perform more. So like I was in a musical right before the pandemic as well. All the musicals shut down, like community theater shut down for like 2 years. It hasn't been the easiest thing to stay on top of unless you're in like a commercial industry, which I'm not. That's not really my thing. Competitive dance is considered a commercial dance industry. And that's great, and I do love that industry for students. For myself, I don't see myself in a commercial dance industry as far as like a professional. I would rather do direct my own thing. So, but anyway, long story short, I've been dancing my entire life. So I have been dancing for 30 years this fall, because I would have enrolled in the fall. So it'll be 30 years this fall. I've been dancing. Ooh. So thank you. I love a dance question. All right, we're down to the last 5 questions I have on my submission, on my form. Let me go back to the chat. Sorry. You gotta head out. Twitch Nick, thank you so much for stopping by and being the first question of the day. Always appreciated having you here. Take care of yourself. And, yes, I'm still flexible. Bowie, I still have my flexibility and everything. And I would probably, I mean, I would have to work up to being like, I would have to get my muscles toned or stretched back to the point where it wouldn't be like sore after the first, couple classes or whatever, if that makes sense. But I do yoga every single day. That's the other thing. I'm still an athlete. I still do yoga every single day. I've done yoga without missing a day for like 2.5 years now. And before that, I had started doing it probably like 4 to 5 times a week. So I do keep up my flexibility that way and stay in shape in a way that is very healthy for my body, that's not like pummeling it into the ground by doing things that I don't need to do at this point. Growing up as a dancer, people are always like, oh, your body's so different when you get older. And it is, but it's like, you don't really need to do all these crazy, weird trick things that you did when you were like 12 and 15 and 18. You can still take care of your body, and like the part of dancing that's beautiful is not the big impressive, like, wow, look at this stunt I can pull. Like, sure, the commercial industry kind of pushes that, but like, it's more about like how you hold yourself in the movement in an artistic format. So like, so yes, I keep up my flexibility, but I don't push my body to the limit, like you would as a student, because I don't need to. Like, I've done that. So yeah. All right, let's see. Next question. Since Mario Party 1 is your favorite, what does it do differently / better that later entries just don't have? From Big Odie. Thanks for the question, Big Odie. Okay, so I am one of those gamers that the brutal humor just, I love. I think it's hilarious. I feel this way about the original Mario Party and the original Animal Crossing. They both had these I don't know, kind of, they both had a spirit about them that was very, like, blunt. And, like, on the original Animal Crossing, the neighbors were, like, downright just rude to you if you didn't give them all the love in the world and do exactly what they wanted you to do. And sometimes even if you did, they were, like, snippy and kind of mean. And it was just, like, so humorous to me. I thought that was hilarious. Like, and other people are, like, hypersensitive, I guess, and they're like, they're so mean, I didn't like it. I'm like, whatever, I think that was the best part of it. Mario Party 1 does the same thing. It has, like, when you lose, it is pushed into your face so hard, like, look, you sucked. We're gonna play a song. It's like the equivalent of, like, pointing and laughing at you if you lose, which is, like, the funniest thing, especially when you add the dynamic of, like, other people playing with you, playing together. Even, like, the computers, just, like, the other people, it's not just, like, singled out, it's everybody. Everybody gets this blunt delivery of, like, well, you were terrible, and we're gonna point and laugh at you now. Just the whole idea of, like, miss and all that is just kind of like the overlying, just, it's just the mood of the game. And I also like there was a little bit more of a competitive edge back in the old games because, like, 2v2s and 1v3s, you won the loser's coins. If you won, that means the losers paid you. And they just stopped doing that in Mario Party 2. It's like, cool, now the winner just gets coins from the abyss, I guess. And I liked that part of it. That felt a little bit more connected to the players. Again, whether they were real people or CPUs, you're a little bit more connected to trying to win. And the, what's the word? The consequence of losing. So, like, you know, if you're on the losing team, you have to pay up to the winners, like, and that goes both ways. And then there were also, like, some mini games where just the loser, there was just one loser for no good reason. You know, Hop Rope Jump was like that. Hot Bob-Ombs like that. Like, and you have to pay the other people if you are the one loser. Like, it's just like there was more of a dynamic there that they took away, and it's Now just kind of like every coins from the abyss, anybody, if you lose, it's not really as big of a deal. I think having that edge to it just does a little something extra for me and makes it a little bit more interesting and feel more... It just feels like a more organic experience, like if I were playing a board game with family around a table, like physically. Which is part of what I love about Mario Party, that it is a board game that you can play anytime by yourself, but feel like you're playing with other people, and you don't have to set up anything or do anything to have that experience. So I think those are like the big things that stick out for me. I also like how, like in Mario Party 2, there's not a board where the star doesn't cost 20 coins. It doesn't cost less, it doesn't cost more. I think that I like the dynamic of it not being the same on every single board, and there were also boards that had gimmicks. There were boards where the star moved. There were boards where the star was more expensive, but also the consequence for not getting a star was more expensive. Also, Bowser was on the map. He no longer was a thing. He was just a space. Well, he already had a space in the original Mario Party 1, but he was also on the map. They just like took him out. You know, so you don't have this like consequential figure on the map that you're like trying to avoid or get other people to go to. Like, there were just elements that they omitted later that I don't think they needed to, and it just makes for a lot more dynamic experience in Mario Party 1. So that's another example, is Bowser. Even having like the little items that are like, no Boo, no Koopa, like you can't use those. Like, that's not even a, like, Boo maintained his presence, but like, Koopa didn't, and Koopa became the bank. Like, that's not as exciting as getting 10 coins every time you pass start. So I just think that, like, just those little details and little additions made it what it was, and made it such a vibe and a mood, and I think that's why I prefer it at the end of the day. It just, there's more to it. Even though there's less to it because it's not as, like, new. I don't know. It's just, there's something about it. I think that's what makes it stand out for me. That is like, okay, I like this one better than the other ones. And also, like, I think the character integration in the mini games and in the boards and everything, it feels like it's more full circle than just like, you're on this random thing, you're on this random board that just has this cool theme, but we don't really know why. Like, it wasn't associated with anybody. I don't know. I just think that there was a lot more detail put into Mario Party 1 in a lot of respects. So, when I grow up, I want to be a bank. Exactly. Thank you so much, Turn of the Drew, for hanging out. I appreciate it. But yeah, that's why Mario Party 1 stands out to me. Thank you so much, Big Odie, for the question. But yeah, I love Mario Party 1. It's so good. Next question is, hey Madam, would you ever reunite with Slim for Madam and Slim's Arcade? That was iconic with Mario Kart Double Dash. Here's the thing, I don't even remember playing Mario Kart Double Dash with Slim. He probably doesn't either. And I saw him last week, and we actually, like, Madam and Slim's Arcade, ooh. We always joke about this if it comes up, like, I don't think we'll ever revisit it as a series at this point, you know. He still makes Let's Plays and streams. I don't really make Let's Plays anymore so much as I stream and then forward that content to YouTube. And it's not that I wouldn't be willing to record a series like that with him. I just don't think that's either one of our priority right now. The whole idea of it back in the day was like, oh, we're the two Mario Party Let's Players. Let's come together and make other content. And that was what we did. We made content on YouTube for a living. We were both actively making Let's Plays in the same format, essentially. We were both trying to cover all of the Mario Party games on YouTube. My whole goal is not to cover all the Mario Party games on YouTube anymore. It's just to, like, stream Mario Party content in addition to other game content that I enjoy and share my experience with you all. So I don't really think there's much of a drive to have, like, Madam and Slim's Arcade we don't really do the same kind of content all the time other than like Mario Party, and if we're gonna do content together, we'll probably just like co-stream or play a game together for the heck of it. It's not like something that we're trying to put out there. We've just kind of we've grown and gone in, well, we've kind of gone in the same direction as far as like, wow, we stream and make content still. It's like we've gone in different directions as far as like our personal goals for what we do, I think. So if you're waiting on Madame and Slim's arcade to return, it probably won't. I mean, never say never, but I just think that if we are going to do something together, it would be like streaming together, and it wouldn't be labeled as anything. It would just be like, I'm playing Mario Party with Slim Kirby, or we're playing Rugrats Scavenger Hunt together, or, you know, there's just a lot more freedom, and there's a lot more, it's a lot easier to access games even not in person now. Back when we did that, that was the other thing. We lived close enough that we could actually physically visit each other. We still do. That hasn't changed. We still could physically visit each other, and we do, but it's not like it was back then where like that was the only way to collaborate with somebody, because hardly any games were online and hardly any streaming wasn't really a thing. So like you had to both have a way to record videos, and unless you wanted to use an emulator or something, like you really couldn't do that with any, like there's so much more available now. So having so much more available online, it kind of, you don't even need to be in person. And I'm the kind of person, I like showing my face on camera and like being part of like expressing that side of it. Slim does not, so it's like we don't have like the same style. I wouldn't want to obligate him to having to be on camera. I'm sure he wouldn't want to obligate me to not being on camera, like if it's not necessary. So it's just like it's a different time. So it's really not like something that has come up because we don't really need it at this point. We don't need to have this labeled series on YouTube anymore. It's just we can get together and play games whenever we want, and we can stream it and have everybody be part of it live in person too. And he does that now with my big husband. He does that with Odin Spec now on the Stack Game Marathon channel, like, because it's just a lot easier to do stuff like that. So anyway, so there's no plan for it to return, is what I'm trying to say. Sorry. Alright, we're to the last 3 questions. Since it's coming up this week, what do you plan on having be your Lenten promise this year? I talked about this yesterday. I am giving up talking, worrying, stressing, verbalizing, and internalizing struggles about money. I am not talking about money, finances, like at all in this negative light, because I got in a very negative habit of being like, what if I can't afford that? Or what if that's too expensive? Like, and I hate those words. I hate saying stuff like that. I'm not going to say it anymore. I'm going to be kinder with myself. And yes, I can acknowledge like, oh, obviously I have donation funds a lot that are like, this helps me. This is a housekeeping fund, meaning it helps keep a roof over my head or whatever. But like, I don't, I feel like the more attention I give to my stress about it, the more stressed I get and the worse it is. So I'm giving up talking about money for Lent in a negative light like that. No more. I'm changing my habits for my mental health and for my to have a better outlook. I need to not stress so much. So that's what I'm giving up this year. Casanova64 asks, did you know they are making a Toy Story 5 and do we need it? Yes, I did know. And I mean, do we need any of the Toy Story or any movie sequel ever? No. But do we want it? Of course we do. I'm never going to turn my nose up at a sequel to a good series. And all of the sequels to Toy Story have been good. Like, in my opinion. Like, I know that the last one got a lot of hate, but I think that's just because people were ready for the series to be done. And when they're like, we're making another one, it was kind of like, but why? I thought we were done. And it's like, I don't really care that much. Like, I just think it's a movie about toys. Like, it's meant to be fun. So I think it's cool. I don't have a problem with it. But thank you, Casanova. And then Mew, what are your thoughts on milk tea? Thank you, Mew, for the question. I don't even know what milk tea is. So unfortunately, I don't know that I can really answer this. If your question is like, what are your thoughts on putting milk in your tea? I don't. Not unless I get a latte. Like at Starbucks, like if I get a chai tea, they put milk in it, but it's like steamed, I think, or something. I don't know. Soy milk, because I can't have real milk. But as far as milk tea as a thing, I don't know what that is. So I guess my thoughts are I should try it if they have a soy option. If they don't, then I cannot try it because I'm lactose intolerant. But thank you, Mew. That's it. Those are all the questions that I received on my form submission. And I appreciate you guys being part of this and asking such wonderful questions. They were all so much fun. I didn't have to skip one, so thank you so much. And there were no like yes or no questions. You guys are so good. No one asked like, have you played what game? Have you played Metroid Prime? No. Like, no one asked that. Any yes or no questions. So thank you for being so thoughtful in your questions that you asked. And I had a great time just talking about all this stuff with you all and answering those questions. I can open it up a little bit to if you have any like other last minute questions, or maybe you didn't get a question submitted on the form, if anybody wants to throw something out there. And then I'll probably wrap up because I've been talking for like 2 hours straight and my voice is tired, so. But I do have tea. I think they meant boba tea, like bubble milk tea. I've only tried bubble tea a couple times. And it wasn't even mine, it was somebody else's. It was okay. But I haven't really tried it much, to be honest. I like bobas. I used to put bobas in my, back when orange leaf was like a big fad. I used to put those in my ice cream. Or my froyo. Anyway. I asked the Lent question because I think I know what I want to do for my own Lenten promise this year. Oh, Yo-Yo! Well, thank you for the question. Thank you, Mew, for the question as well. I'm sorry I don't have a better answer. I'm not really I've only, like I said, tried bubble tea like twice, and they were both other people's. They weren't even mine. So I guess I don't really know. I guess the answer is I need to try my own bubble tea at some point. Anyway, other question I was going to ask kind of was, would you consider trying out more Sonic games in the future? That was an access problem back in the day. I didn't have any of the consoles that, like, any of the good, I don't know. Any of the Sonic games that I would have wanted to play were on. Like, any of the old classic Sonic games. I didn't have any Sega systems or anything. Now, because I don't really have the nostalgia for it, Sonic games aren't really something I'm super particularly interested in. I've given them like a try here and there, like just like the retro ones, and I'm not very good, so that doesn't help, but they're fun, but I don't really know what I'm doing. Like, that's the thing. I don't know that that'd be something I would enjoy streaming, just until I got a feel for like understanding how the games even work. So yeah, oh, listen to this song. I love this song. So yeah, I don't know. It's not something that I have planned, if I'm being totally honest. I remember you said you had Luigi's Mansion on GameCube. Will you be playing it on Halloween streams? I had always intended to play it around Halloween or on my Halloween stream. And then I got Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon and realized how much I really don't like Luigi's Mansion. I really don't like it that much, so I just don't think I would enjoy the first game that much either. I've watched Let's Plays of it, and it's not particularly, like, a pull for me, so I kind of have nixed it from being part of my Halloween tradition because that is my favorite stream of the year. I don't want to ruin it with something I don't really like. But, you know, I would be open to, like, trying the game out, doing a let's try of the game around Halloween. But lately, the past couple years, Halloween has been so chaotically busy that just has never happened. It's been like, oh, okay, we're not gonna play anything new right now. So I don't know. That's not something I probably won't play Luigi's Mansion on my Halloween streams, no. I've kind of taken a break from streaming Kingdom Hearts games, Kirby Kart, because I'm trying to avoid spoilers for, like, I still haven't played Kingdom Hearts 3 at all or seen any bit of gameplay from it, and I know that if I stream it, it'll probably come up in conversation and get ruined for me. So I'm kind of just wanting to play that on my own. I watched Odie play through Kingdom Hearts 2 just off stream last year, a little over a year ago now, and that was just kind of the experience I needed to avoid spoilers. So at this point, one of the games I would like to go back to is Birth by Sleep. I was streaming that, like just doing silent streams of that a few years ago, but Odie hasn't played it, so now I don't want to accidentally spoil it for him. We just need to like start over and play these games like behind the off stream and then stream them after we know what's going on, or like all the spoilers. I think it's just like it's really not the Kingdom Hearts community really loves to spoil things on stream for whatever reason, so probably not. The only thing I would stream more of is like the original game, maybe grinding, but I'm kind of over the grind of it because I got to like Alice in Wonderland and I'm like, okay, whatever, I'm done for the moment, I want to play something else. So I'm sorry my bubble tea wasn't enough to solidify a definitive answer. I'm so sorry, Pixie. I had a sip and I'm like, ooh. Remember, I think I had a sip and I didn't even get one of the bobas. And I was like, this is disappointing. And you're like, no, you can't have it like that. And then I think my sister got one, but it had coffee in it. And I don't like coffee. So I'm just like, no. Those are the only 2 times I've tried it. Anyway. But yeah. I don't have any particular interest in VTubing right now because I don't really know how to make a VTuber anyway. So at the moment, I like my face better than an animated something with big boobs. Not that they have to have big boobs, it's just all the ones that I see do. So, nah, I'll just stick to my face, because then I can do fun makeup and change it up. I'm not really somebody who likes to do the same, like, makeup and hair all the time either, so, you know. Undertale community loves to spoil in backseat. That's probably true. I wouldn't know, because I took Odie's advice when he asked me to play the game, and I recorded the entire thing before I ever posted it to YouTube, so it was done by the time I started uploading it. Most of the comments I don't think were spoilers so much as just people mad at me for not playing the game the way that they wanted, or being mad that I didn't like the game like they did, which was really kind of amusing coming from a like after the fact perspective. I have to resist the urge to go get bubble tea now. You know what I think it is? I don't have a bubble tea place anywhere. I don't even know where to get bubble tea. There's like no bubble tea place around where I live or anywhere I've been that I even know of. Maybe that's the problem. Find bubble tea place, try it for real. Those are the 2 things I need to do. Favorite is Oreo shakes with boba. Let's go. That sounds good. I love rose tea, so rose milk tea sounds pretty good. I'm sure I would like it. Also, hydrate. I'm hydrating with tea right now. This is my popcorn tea. It's really just like barley tea, but it's so good. I love it. And every time I make it, Odie's like, is something burning? And it's because it has toasted rice in it. So it smells like when you pour the hot water over it, it smells like something burning. It's kind of funny. That makes sense. Boba shops are like bars for my friends. That's where all the tea gets spilled. Wow. Well, I'm pretty good at spilling the tea without a boba bar, so. But I am big Bobo, so maybe that's the pun. Anyway. Oh my gosh, it's been such a fun night, you guys. My voice really is getting tired though, so I think I am gonna wrap up. and call it. I'm gonna read the names of the subs. So shout out to Kabumek. Love you so much for the resub. Shout out to Cole Bobo. Thank you so much for the Prime resub. I'm trying to avoid showing the credits for the moment because it has been a hot mess on Streamlabs and it's all glitchy and slow and strange. So I don't want it to like, it's just not a good experience right now because they need to fix it and they haven't yet. So until they do, I'm just gonna have to verbally read the credits. Also, as always, shout out to my patrons. Love my Patreon family. You guys are the best. Thank you for providing monthly support to my content, always. So special thanks to you all. Alright, you guys, I have a couple announcements before I go. First of all, I would like to shout out my Etsy store. I'm currently running a I'm currently running a spring cleaning sale. It's my spring clean out. Everything is 30% off. Please check it out if there's anything you've been thinking about buying. Now would be the time because it's all on sale. I'm trying to lighten my load, out with the old, in with the new, make room for new merch coming in the spring. I've been working on a lot of things behind the scenes to get added to my Etsy store in the coming month or so. So definitely take advantage of the sale if you're interested. Also, this just posted in my chat. My Linktree has all of my social media, YouTube channel, Etsy store. All of my links are in there. So if there's anything I talked about tonight that you want to check out, or if you want to follow me on social media or join my Discord server or anything like that, that's the place to do that. I also want to reiterate that this weekend I will not be streaming as regularly scheduled. I will not be streaming Friday Night Mario Party or anything on Saturday because I will be at my first convention in 3 years. I'm so excited. So I'll be at Anime Crossroads this weekend, having all the fun and competing in the cosplay masquerade. I'm very nervous and very excited. But I will also be trying to go live from the convention just on my phone at some point. Just to do a little bit of a live stream like, oh wow, here's the con. So hopefully that happens. It kind of is up to the technical state of the place, like if it's if the Wi-Fi is good enough and all that. So no promises, but that is my intent. I am intending on going live at least once from the convention. I might do like I definitely want to go live on Twitch, and I might do like an Instagram live or something too. That would be fun, even if it's just like a get ready with me maybe style. But we'll see. So anyway, that's the plan for the weekend. I will be doing a recap on Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'll be back to my regular schedule. So 8 p.m. Eastern on Monday, you'll be able to catch a Just Chatting stream with me and Odie talking about the convention, sharing our experience, any fun stories or anything that we want to add, doing a haul, if you will, for anything purchased there, and just kind of talking about the experience with you all so you can feel like you were part of it as well. So that's going to be next Monday, and then we'll be back to Friday Night Mario Party next Friday too. I think it'll be the first Friday of March. Friday, March 3rd. So, anyway, I look forward to all of that, you guys. I'm so excited and so nervous for this weekend. I'm sure I'll be tweeting about it and sharing pictures and all that good stuff. So definitely follow me on Twitter if you don't already. But thank you guys so much for your questions. Thank you for donating to unlock this Q&A session. I've had a lot of fun. It's been wonderful answering questions and chatting with you all. So everybody take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful rest of your night. And I will hopefully see you at least briefly this weekend on stream from the convention. And if that doesn't work out, I will see you next Monday. So take care, everybody. Love you all. Bye.